I'm Sebastian, and for Mrs. Mann's class, I'm reading Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock by Janet Stevens. Once upon a time, Anansi the spider was walking through the forest when something caught his eye. It was a strange moss-covered rock. "How interesting," Anansi said. "Isn't it a strange moss-covered rock?" Boom! Everything went black. Down fell Anansi, senseless. An hour later, Anansi woke up. His head was spinning. He wondered what had happened. "I was walking along the path when something caught my eye. I stopped and said, 'Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?' Kapow! Down fell Anansi again. But this time, when he woke up later, he knew what was happening. "Ah!" said Anansi. "This is the magic rock, and whenever someone comes along and said the magic word, 'Isn't it just strange?' Down it goes. This is a good thing to know," said Anansi. I just how to use it." So Anansi went walking through the forest until they came to Lion's house. Lion was sitting on his porch. At feet was a great pile of yams. And Anansi loved yams, but he was too lazy to dig them up himself. So yes, Anansi, said Lion, "it is a terrible hot. I'm going for a walk in the cold forest," said Anansi. "Would you like to come?" "I certainly would," said Lion. So Lion and Anansi went walking through the forest. After a while, Anansi led Lion to a certain place. "Lion, do you see what I see?" "Oh, yes, Anansi," said Lion. "Isn't it a strange moss-covered rock?" Boom! Down fell Lion. Anansi ran back to Lion's house and made off with all Lion's yams. An hour later, Lion woke up. His head was spinning, and Anansi was nowhere in sight. And that when he got home, every single one of his yams was gone. Lion was very sad. But Anansi was very happy. Couldn't wait to play his trick again. Once more, Anansi went walking through the forest. This time he stopped at the elephant's house. The elephant was sitting on his porch, and at the elephant's feet was a great pile of bananas. Anansi loved bananas, but he was too lazy to pick them himself, so he said to elephants, "Hello, elephant, isn't it so hot today?" "It is," elephant agreed. "I'm going for a walk in the cold forest," Anansi said. "Would you like to come?" "That sounds nice," said the elephant. "Thank you for inviting me," Anansi.
Slower and louder.
So Anansi and the elephant went walking through the forest. After a while, Anansi led the elephant to a certain place. Elephant looked. "Do you see what I see?" Elephant looked. "Yes, I do, Anansi. Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?" Boom! Down fell Anansi. Anansi ran back to the elephant's house and made off with all of his bananas. An hour later, Elephant woke up. His head was spinning. Anansi was nowhere in sight. When he got home, he found that every single one of his bananas was gone. Elephant was very sad. But Anansi was very happy. He couldn't wait to play his trick again. He played it on rhinoceros and hippos. He played it on giraffe and zebra. He played it on every single animal in the forest. But all this time, watching from behind the leaves was little bush deer. Little bush deer is small and shy and is very hard to see. She watched as Anansi played his wicked trick again and again and again. All the other animals. Little bush deer decided it was time for Anansi to learn a lesson. The little bush deer went deep into the forest to where there down great many coconuts. She carried the coconuts home basket and set them on her porch beside them to wait. In his little while, along came Anansi. Anansi's eye lit up when he saw little bush deer's coconuts. Anansi loved coconuts. He loved to eat the tender white coconut meat and drink the sweet coconut milk inside, but he was too lazy to gather coconuts himself. Instead, he said, "Hello, little bush deer. Is it so hot today?" Little bush deer smiled. "It is very hot, Nancy. I'm going for a walk in the cold forest. Would you like to come?" "Yes, I would," said little bush deer. So Anansi and little bush deer was walking go forward. After a while, Anansi led a little bush deer to a certain place. "Little bush deer, do you look over there? Do you see what I see?" Little bush deer knew all about Anansi's trick. You must look. "No, Anansi, I do not see anything." "You must see it. Look very carefully," he said. Anansi began to get angry. "You must see it. Look over there." "No, Anansi," said little bush deer. Anansi stamped his legs. "You see it. You just don't want to say it." "Say what?" said little bush deer. You know. "Is that what I'm supposed to say?" "Yes," said Nancy. "All right, then I'll say it to make you happy. You know," said little bush deer. "There, I said it. Are you satisfied?" "No," Anansi shouted. "You're supposed to say..." What am I supposed to say?" "You're supposed to say, 'Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?'" Boom! Down fell Anansi. Little bush deer ran and got all the other animals together. They went to Anansi's house and took back all the good things he had stolen from them. An hour later, Anansi woke up. His head was spinning. Little bush deer was nowhere in sight, and when they got home, he found his house was empty as it was before. But if you think Anansi learned his lesson, you're mistaken, because he's still playing tricks to this very day. This book is Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock, and Anansi found the rock that's magic, and he said the magic words, and he fell down 2 times, and a second time he knew what was happening, and he got an elephant, hippopotamus, giraffe, zebra, and lion, and they all had things Nancy liked, and and he played them on them all, and little bush deer was watching, and he went and got little bush deer, and he looked up and he looked over, and he said, then he stamped his legs, and he said, "You must see it." And he said, "Look very, very carefully." And then he looked and he said, "I don't see anything." Then he began to get angry. He said, "Look over there. See what I'm pointing? You're supposed to say, 'This is a strange moss-covered rock.'" Kaboom! Down fell Anansi. They all ran back to Spider's house and got all the things that Anansi had stolen from them. And that was the end. Bye!